Oh, snow. Here we go, Dan Scoff.
Say it ain't snow, baby. Say it ain't snow.
Oh, my goodness. It is coming down right now across
Yeah.
Arkansas.
And it's only 10:26. This goes all the way until midnight, possibly later. Now, I know some people, there was a lady, by the way, on Facebook that mentioned, I'm in Kingston and we haven't gotten a single thing. And it's like, first of all, patience, because you're farther east, so it's going to take a little while. And I don't normally go off the Weather Channel's names for the winter storm, but I thought it was kind of ironic that this is called Kingston. And here's a lady in Kingston asking about Kingston. Yeah, she's going to get snow.
Yeah.
We got the whole crew here, by the way. We got a bunch of people that are on. We got Peyton Langford. What's going on, Peyton?
Volume. Don't think we can hear you right now, Peyton.
That's all right. You get those voice get all that recordings and the camera settings set up. It switches sometimes, so you just gotta make sure that's all adjusted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zach's probably working out. We'll get a live look from Zach at the gym.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and tell you what he's doing right now. He's doing some curls. I bet maybe doing some deadlifts.
Yeah,
like that. He's getting rock and roll.
So Peyton, we'll try to get your mic work, adjust it, and see if you can figure it out for the time being. But also too, look at this. I've got a Dan Scoff remote cam right here.
Ooh.
So that's what we've got going on. Notice how the roads are fine. However, we're going to continue to see that accumulation. The heavier the snow gets, and it is starting to come down pretty good now.
Yeah, and here's the deal, Dan. I'm getting some reports too from the River Valley from Braden Polk here. No sleet, all snow in the River Valley. That is interesting.
Well, this system was colder. The Arctic air was plunging in. Everything was kind of showing up. So, yeah, man.
Interesting. I'm just saying, I mean, even for the River Valley, right? You know, if the River Valley is getting a push of cold air like that, just imagine what the snow totals could be in Northwest Arkansas. We mentioned this. The models continue to uptrend. Each model run, Dan, it just keeps going up with those.
Oh, look at those flakes in Fayetteville. So, yeah, right now you can see that obviously the roads are fine, and that's that pre-treating. And remember, concrete can hold a little more warmth, so that's why tops of car hoods, rooftops, they could cool off a lot faster. Other areas, though, like roads, they're insulated, which is why bridges and overpasses start to get slick. So, yes. Josh, we're going to take them through all this. We're going to show them all the latest. We've got all that information, but let's take a look at the radar, man. I'll let you run the show here. You're in the weather lab.
Look at this, man. Yeah, I mean, we've already got some banding going on here on Hale-Heude-Coy Mega Doppler. Like you said, not even 11 o'clock yet. I did anticipate the heaviest snow to start right around 11 a.m., 12 p.m. So actually a little bit ahead of schedule right now with some of that heaviest snow. And at least according to Mega Doppler, you're also starting to see some of that snow in the River Valley as well. So again, that push of Arctic air, that deeper Arctic air pushing into the River Valley too. But look at some of these purple and pink shaded colors. That's that banding that we're talking about. That's that heavier snow that's starting to push towards the area. Earlier this morning, a lot of that snow was not reaching the ground in Northwest Arkansas because we weren't saturated at the surface. So you saw a lot of that virga. Not the case anymore. And if we go to some of our WeatherBug Network cameras, you can see that as well. Let's go to Bella Vista first. As you can see, snow falling there, as Dan just mentioned, not really sticking to the roadways yet, but that will change as we move throughout the rest of the day today. Another snowy scene over the Bentonville Square. Look at how that snow's kind of blowing sideways too along the Bentonville Square. That's that wind that's starting to pick up. As those snowfall rates start to increase, we're going to see the visibility decrease as well as we move throughout the afternoon hours today. Let's take a look at Decatur, Winter Wonderland there as well. And just saw that comment from Fort Smith. Let's take a look at that Fort Smith Public Library camera. You can see a few flakes flying there as well in Fort Smith. So it's very interesting to see that already in portions of the River Valley, already starting to see snow rather than sleet or even freezing rain, which just kind of shows you that cold air mass is already in place along the I-4 corridor, which could impact the snowfall total significantly. Pea Ridge, it's been snowing since around 5:30, 6 a.m. We're already starting to see some flakes in northern Benton County. So you're starting to see that there. Not really sticking to the football field quite yet, but you're not going to be seeing that for the next several days there in Pea Ridge with all the snow that we're expecting in northern Benton County. And then we'll show one more camera here. Let's go to that Garfield Posey Mountain weather bug.
Let's bring that up full. Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. So you can starting to see some of those visibilities getting reduced in the higher terrain of northwest Arkansas as those snowfall rates start to increase. So,
I think we got Peyton back on here. I think he might have got his audio fixed. So let's bring in the whole crew here. Add him to the stage.
I think so. Is it working?
Hey,
we're good.
We got you.
All right.
Yes,
good deal. Yeah, it was really weird. Not your usual audio settings in StreamYard. Like I had to go into Chrome, had to relaunch Chrome and do some updates there, and check on the drivers in the laptop. So
yeah, I believe that. Well,
I know you had to deal with that.
Multitasking. So Peyton, you were out this morning. Were you doing live reports, or are you going?
I just kind of walking around, see what was falling. You know, just heard the pitter patter of the BBs falling, the sleet falling, and now it's all snow. Haven't been out there since, but. Actually, it'll be going live for KARK at noon. That'll be happening just off I-49 in southern Benton County or central Benton County near Rogers, Lowell area, and then live hits and all the shows later on this evening.
I see some of these.
Double time, man.
What?
He's getting double time, man. Double shifts.
I know. I see that. So you're getting double time. You're doing KARK. And Peyton, we appreciate it. Those live reports are key. They're really important. We got some people saying it's not snow. It's manufactured. It's I don't think so. So let's get to some maps. People want to see the newest maps, and I agree with that. And Peyton, you might agree with this. We were going up on the totals. They were trending more and more. Systems coming in colder. I think some of the probabilistic outlooks are great for long range, but when it comes to short range and this type of weather system, that typical, expected snowfall doesn't really work.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's actually so much snow in Fort Smith. We were really looking at maybe a mix. Now it seems like a lot of it, if not most of it, is actually snow.
Now, I wonder how much that 850, because once the system really starts to take root, there's the potential that we get that 850 layer that starts to warm, and that freezing line at 850 can lift northward. But we'll see. Pink is crazy. She's going on. Have you seen my cat, Peyton? Have you ever seen Pink?
Oh, yeah. Remember I took care of her?
Oh, of course. Yes. You can hear Pink. Come here, Pinks. All right. We're going to bring up these Josh's camera full. And Josh, take us through some of these maps here and the snow accumulations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we've been mentioning, pretty much over the last 24 to 48 hours, the models continue to uptrend. It's all about the track of the system. You're starting to see that energy kick in to northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Look at the last 3 hours. This is just a 3-hour loop. And look at how all that snow is starting to fill in on that map. And we're going to see it start to get heavier and heavier as we move throughout the afternoon hours as well. So those snowfall rates really going to start cranking up over our weather coverage area. So this is just the beginning of the storm system. I know it looks like on satellite radar that, hey, there's the backside of the system right there. We're going to be done. But that's not the case, because if we take a wider view here, you can see that energy starting to kick in right now. And my goodness, guys, that is just an impressive piece of energy.
Wow, that is a lot.
That is a lot. So we've got a long ways to go. We're going to continue to see this map fill in. We're going to continue to see those visibilities drop off over northwest Arkansas. Again, I think after lunchtime, right around 12 p.m., that's where we're going to see the heaviest snowfall in northwest Arkansas. So let's go ahead and take a look at the latest HRRR model. Now, here's the deal. Dan, I was talking to you about that this morning over the phone. The HRRR yesterday was showing a lot of sleet over northwest Arkansas, but as we've been getting these morning runs in, it's showing more and more snow, and that makes sense. And maybe it just starts showing more snow in the River Valley as well, because we're already starting to see the flakes fly in Fort Smith. It's showing up on satellite radar. So even then, this model is trying to lift that 850 line to the north. You can clearly see it's trying to put a wintry mix in Fayetteville. I don't know if I necessarily buy that for northwest Arkansas with how deep that cold air mass is right now, with how much those precipitation rates are going to continue to increase. You can see as we move throughout the afternoon hours, those snowfall rates continue to increase. Eventually, that deeper cold air will make its way into central Arkansas as well. But very heavy snowfall expected between 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. I think that's going to be the sweet spot for the heaviest snow. Snow showers sticking around through about midnight, 1 a.m. before shifting off to the east of the area with a few flurries mixed in. But look at those temperatures, Peyton. Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. 8 degrees in Bentonville, Rogers, 9 degrees in Fayetteville. I mean, are you kidding me? It is going to be super cold as we move throughout Wednesday afternoon. But here's the latest HRRR in terms of snowfall totals. It's still showing only about an inch or two in Fayetteville. I don't know if I necessarily buy that because, again, it's trying to say that there's sleet mixing in around the Fayetteville area. Don't know if I buy that right now, but look at those snowfall totals as we move throughout the evening hours. Again, the HRRR just really impressive right now with snowfall totals over a foot. Bentonville, Rogers, Eureka Springs, Harrison, and it continues to uptrend the snowfall totals in Fayetteville, which I'm sure Pink is very happy to see.
Look at those ears. Those ears are about as down as they could be right there.
Full airplane ears right there.
Yeah.
Yep, she's not about that.
You think it's gonna snow? Pink? Yeah, she thinks so. Yeah. She thinks. You think we're gonna get a foot some places? Pink? Yeah. Yeah. She does. So yeah, she's not happy.
We'll have to see what NATO thinks.
Yeah, get NATO in there.
Yes. Yeah, we got it. Instead of the 8-ball forecast, we got to do the Pink forecast at this point. The Mercedes forecast, the NATO forecast. Here we go.
Look at all the pink on the map. Pink.
Yes.
There's a lot of pink on the map. Pink. Hey, look at How old is NATO?
He will be 2 at the beginning of March. It's almost his
Man.
birthday.
So that's 2. Pink is 17 years old.
That's crazy.
Going on 18, and she is like, yeah, she can move, man.
Look at this.
She-
Live.
Yeah.
All right.
Went to Walmart.
You just went to Walmart?
Yeah. I got
Whoa.
Oh, thanks.
Josh is under the weather, so he's
Yeah. He's still cooking too.
I'm going to need that right there.
If you need that,
That's for sure.
then
Yes.
let me know if you need anything else.
Yes. Appreciate it, man.
Same goes for you guys. You want a weather report on the roads in Fayetteville?
We do.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, they did a pretty good job of pre-treating it. The only real spot where I saw it was slick was right in front of the station on Dixon Street.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Most amount of snow is. I mean, it's just a thin layer. You drive over it, and then you can see your tire tracks. But I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the only spot where I'm like, oh,
That's the first spot. And then it's just going to spread out from there and start drifting, too.
yeah. I didn't have any
Blowing
issues
snow.
on the road yet. But
That's going to be icy going into the parking deck all the way through next week. Honestly.
I have some skates.
All right, that's cool. We're good.
Yes.
We're good.
Let me know if you need it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you.
Look at that. Josh under the weather and still cooking.
Yeah, I'm gonna be cooking with this later today.
Is that chunky?
That's chunky, man. He knows what's up. Josh Harvison knows what's up. Our news director.
That's awesome.
Ready to
I'm,
rock.
I'm gonna get the Baja Blast ready.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll bring the whole freezy machine to the station. Honestly,
you just need to scoop the snow outside. You've already got your.
I know.
ice
I'm
right there.
making some snow ice cream for sure.
That's revolutionary. Baja Blast snow ice cream crossover.
Oh man,
That's a good
that
picture right
sounds pretty good. Look at those snow bands. Look at that band that's developing your Tahlequah. That is some extremely heavy snow.
Woo!
Top of the scale right there.
Yeah.
Go to non-reflectivity. Go to non-winter precip mode. I bet you we see some yellows in there. Let's see here. Oh yeah, you got a different.
We got a different band on here.
Well, there is some yellow showing up over Tahlequah just at the end of that loop.
Yep.
You stop it. Right about there. Yeah, you're starting to see some yellows develop. Now remember, snow is different than rain on radar because it takes longer to reach the ground. So what you're seeing isn't necessarily what's happening right at the same time. And that's a good reminder for me and for you and Peyton, I already knows this, but what you're seeing on the radar, it appears like it's really heavy, and you might go outside and be like, well, it's not snowing real heavy. That's because it takes a while for those snowflakes to reach the ground. So let's show the accumulation maps, Josh.
Yeah, Absolutely.
People are waiting. We've been 18 minutes in, been showing our cats, been showing I'll add this one to the stream too. There's a live view of Fayetteville. That is, by the way, snowing less, but it makes sense looking at the radar. There's going to be ebbs and flows.
Yep. But I mean, again, we talk about trends and stuff like that. I mean, I'm going to show this 4-panel model data right before we get to our forecasted amounts, but it just gives you an idea of what we're dealing with the storm system. Pretty much every single model has significant snowfall over northwest Arkansas. Some models, obviously, a lot more than others. So even the European model is starting to uptrend, Dan, compared to where we were just 24 hours ago. Very similar story with the GFS. European and GFS are going to have more of a broad range of totals just because they're longer range models are not as high resolution as maybe the NAM or the HRRR. But the point is, every single model is showing significant snow over northwest Arkansas. So I haven't changed anything here because I haven't felt the need to, Dan and Peyton, when it comes to our forecasted snowfall totals for northwest Arkansas. I still anticipate a lot of locations in northern Benton County, northern Carroll County, northern Boone County, southwest Missouri, northeast Delaware County to receive potentially over a foot of snow from this system. You can see that swath of 8 to 12-inch amounts as well, extending from southern Delaware County all the way through southern Benton, northern Washington County, northern Madison County, and northern Newton County. Again, Fayetteville is included in that as well. Looking at the latest trends, if I was gonna make any changes, Dan, it might be to extend this 8 to 12 just a little bit farther south. Just looking at that banding that's going on right now and already starting to develop in portions of Adair County and a little bit farther to the south and west as well towards Tahlequah. So we're gonna have to watch that very closely, but very significant snowfall totals still expected in northwest Arkansas, and may need to make some adjustments in the River Valley too. Right now, this is the current map. We have 3 to 5 inches of snow along the I-40 corridor from Fort Smith to Alma over towards Ozark and Clarksville, 1 to 4 inches a little bit farther south of the I-40 corridor. But if we continue to see snow in the River Valley, guys, I mean, we might have to uptrend these totals along the I-40 corridor as well, because that is something we've got to watch very closely. There's not one sleet pellet being reported in Fort Smith right now, which is very interesting to me.
I want you to look at, if you can, we'll take this remote camera off of there because it's not as impressive, but I want you to look at the 850 millibar graphic that I made that has 850 winds on there, because I do believe that those 850 winds are going to be increasing, and you're going to see yellow shades, which represents warmer temperatures aloft. And that's the type of profile that you get. And Peyton, you mentioned that, and you did that about winter precipitation types, and you can kind of elaborate how that works.
Oh, with what? With the warm air coming in and providing that warm nose, melting the snowflakes a little bit. Yeah, so that warm air at 850, which is, 1.5 kilometers ish, a little over around a mile above your head. That warm air will start to melt those flakes, but if there's still that deep cold air, or I guess now a shallow cold air mass at the surface, that will then refreeze upon hitting surface. So that's where we can see, maybe a little bit of icing potential. And the models have kind of hinted at that. We've talked about it over the last couple of days that, maybe a tenth of an inch of ice is possible. It was also included in that winter weather advisory. That is something we'll have to watch for. If we'll see that warm air advection at 850.
So, Josh, there's one that I added called Streamlines. It's 850 millibar temperature Streamlines, and I noticed it was gone yesterday, but I was like, this is an important graphic to use. It's got the 850 millibar Streamlines. You should see it in the most recently updated graphics, unless it was changed, potentially.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it so far on here. I see Arctic Plunge, 850 millibar temperatures. This might be it. Is this one it?
No, it should have Streamlines on there. It's got the 850.
That one is surface temperatures.
Oh.
I was on 850 just now, but this is not the one he's looking for.
Look at the most recent. Go ahead and edit that. I don't know if you've used that today, but go in there and see if you can add the Streamlines to it. They should be a layer on there where you can add Streamlines, and if not, that's cool. But anyways, so yeah, we've got widespread snow. I'm going to show you this while we're waiting here for him to get that loaded, because it really is a cool graphic. It shows the 850 millibar freezing line, but then it also shows that warm air that's advecting northward. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up the Winter Storm Severity Index. So this is something that the Weather Prediction Center mentions. Weather Prediction Center had earlier, you might remember last night, it was barely any major impacts anywhere over northwest Arkansas. Now I'm going to crank up that so you can see just everywhere. All of Benton County now, except for a tiny sliver. That's like basically trivial. Major impacts across the northern rural counties. And that just keeps trending farther and farther south. This is purely driven by the Weather Service and their national blended model, along with, that's it. That's it, Josh, right there. I'm going to bring that up full. But this has trended farther south, and we knew that was going to be the case looking at everything that was happening. Wow, the snow is really coming down now. See if we can add that to the stage. Look at, we got a 5 box. How about that, Josh?
5 box look.
A 5 box, baby. All right.
Anyway,
Again, that 850 is pretty cool, isn't it? You can see the 850.
let's pull this
All
up on the screen here.
Perfect. This is what we're looking for. So what you're seeing are streamlines at about 5,000 feet above the ground. And this is why there's a potential for that wintry mix, that warm nose that Peyton talked about. See the air streaming from East Texas and the Gulf, making it into the river valley. And go back in time a little bit. And remember, this isn't a perfect idea of the trend because we're already seeing snow in the river valley earlier than expected. And if you go back a little more, that freezing line is a little bit farther north. And so that is some really warm air aloft. See those yellow shades? That's representing the temperatures, by the way. I do believe, right? Is that the temperature scale? Should be.
Scale. Yes,
But
sir.
I don't see really cold blues where the air is frigid.
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it on the map either. But
Go ahead and hit enter real quick and edit that, and then go into the streamlines layer and then make sure it's on 10 degrees smooth. So while he's doing that, take another view here of the remote cam. So snow, it's coming down pretty good now, and you can see those snowflakes. But at the same time, you don't see it accumulating on the roads. But it's starting to, and it's starting to accumulate on driveways too. Driveways are going to be a little colder. So, Josh, what do you got?
yeah, so I just edited that to put 10 degrees smooth for the temperature.
Yeah. And now you can see that it doesn't show up very well at all because it's the exact same color as the temperatures.
Yeah, which is why we had on the other one, so that way you can actually see the wind direction.
Yeah. What is that one? Because it shows.
Beaufort scale.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it on that.
Do all Fahrenheit. I think that'll still pop.
Yeah. Could do. All Fahrenheit, do something different.
People are getting an inside look at how we edit these things.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's a little behind the scenes, but this is how we tell the weather story.
There's all Fahrenheit. Look at that.
Yeah, I think that pops a little bit better. Shows that warm air advection slightly aloft, but it's
Shows
not
the cold as
super,
well.
super strong,
Not-
right over us. So
No.
it's like the warm air advection is stronger a little bit further south. But there's still a little bit, but it seems like the cold air mass is definitely winning out as we see what's going on right now.
Well, you know what? This is a great. So Jam in York actually has an interesting comment. He says, "Why does Dan always post temps in Fahrenheit?" Well, that's what we're on. We're on the obviously not the metric scale. I can't even remember what it's called now. I've had so little sleep. You have standard and metric. Is that what it is? Standard? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Celsius, 0 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Believe it or not, we actually work in Celsius with all the upper air soundings and all that stuff. So, all right, Josh, let's go through some. Let's go through the radar. take a look at the latest. Let's see, Imperial. Yes, that's what it is.
Cameras too, because I know a lot of folks want to see some cameras as
I
well.
couldn't remember. Thank you. Imperial and metric.
Imperial.
I could not remember that. Yeah, let's do some cameras here.
Yeah, so here's a little camera tour for you. So Bella Vista, it's coming down. And look at the visibilities too. And those are going to continue to get reduced as we move throughout the rest of the day today as those winds pick up, as that system ejects off to the north and east. Those winds are going to start cranking up between 10 to 20 miles per hour. I'll show an iDrive Arkansas view as well. I do have that pulled up on our other computer as well. So I'll look at that in just a few moments. But there is snow that's starting to show up on the interstates and highways, at least according to iDrive Arkansas. Here's a look at the Fulbright Junior High School WeatherBug Network camera. Look at those flakes. Getting much fatter, guys.
Yep.
With each passing second.
Hey, there is an accident on I-49, Josh.
At least it's not Calvin. Yeah. Imperial and metric. I got you. I forgot. I just forgot. I was like a little tired and haven't had much sleep. And so, yes, Imperial and metric. People know, though. They
Yeah.
know.
Those
Thank
two
you.
accidents are on the Fulbright Expressway.
All right, let's show that.
I'm about to show that right now here. You can't. They
They're
don't
not
have it
looking at it.
towards the accident, but I could show you very close to where those occurred. You can see here that look at the interstates and look at the bridges.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So those are already starting to get slick, and that's why people are starting to spin out of control on the full
They're
body.
going way too fast, man.
Yes.
The temperature's 26. This is the magic temperature at which those roads really start to go downhill.
Yes, absolutely. And so we're starting to see some pretty significant accumulation on the roadways, and I think that's going to continue as we move throughout the rest of the morning hours, and especially later on this afternoon as those snowfall rates get a little bit heavier. This is a look at the Graduate Hotel camera. You can see the snow kind of blowing sideways there. The camera is shaking a little bit, so the winds are starting to increase there. Mount Sequoia, you can't really see downtown Fayetteville.
Oh, that's some heavy snow.
Yes. So, and look at that blowing snow too. You can see how it's kind of drifting.
Oh, man, yeah.
Woo! Really starting to pick up over the Mount Sequoia camera.
So someone had a comment here. I want to pop it on here. Laura Walden out of the Kingston area. Awesome. She's so informative, always provides a lot of information. And iDrive does mainly show major routes. However, what's interesting is Rogers, the city of Rogers, you can zoom in and you get all the road conditions in Rogers. And
Siloam Springs, too.
yeah, I don't understand why it's only those cities. I guess there's something that the way they're connected, because you can't get that for Bentonville or Fayetteville. But Rogers and Siloam Springs, and you can bring that up too. I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was an important thing to add.
Yeah, let me pull that up right now, actually, on weather.
And appreciate you as always, Laura. Sends in pictures, always informative, always interactive, always on the stream. Darla has a good question. I want to pop that up. Will our power grids hold up? You know, that remains to be seen as far as the demand for energy. That already happened in Decatur. There was a power outage in Decatur. So here's a look at Rogers. If you zoom in, those are all kind of still not the secondary roads such as neighborhoods, but you can click on those and you can get the information.
Yep. And it says that this route is maintained by the city of Rogers, so they must have a connection with the Arkansas Department of Transportation. But and Siloam
in Siloam, you get it too.
Yeah.
And look, they're already snow covered.
Yep. With some ice patches too there on the south side of Siloam Springs.
You know, we got one pretty close to Holiday Island. Let's look at Gaither Mountain. I don't know. Have we looked at that one?
Let's look at Gaither Mountain right now. So here's Wonderland.
But see, the visibility is not as low. That's because the snow is farther west.
Yep.
In terms of the heavier snows.
Yep. But if you want a camera that really shows that, there's Posey Mountain right now. This is in northeast Benton County. And as you can see, much heavier snowfall going on there over Posey Mountain.
Oh, yeah. And this is just the beginning. You know, Peyton, we've been looking at this, and we're looking at snow to last all the way through about, we can show the future tracks through about midnight. And I honestly think, too, because this energy is so strong on the backside, there could be a little bit of additional flurry activity Not a lot of accumulation, but it could be a little dusting after all the other snow that we've had tomorrow afternoon. And here's the future track. So we'll bring that up here. We'll bring that up full. What do you think about that, Peyton? Just that little backside of energy.
Well, I'll let you know when I do live shots Wednesday morning if there's
Okay.
anything coming down. But yeah, I'm sure we'll also be seeing a lot of blowing snow on top of that. So people might think it's snowing. We'll have to watch the radar, but there will be probably a lot of blowing snow too heading in tomorrow morning.
See, right about midnight. Now keep going through that. And here comes this secondary wave. Keep going. It doesn't. It tries to, and then it dissipates. Yeah. So
Graph
it
is
doesn't
showing a
have-
little bit more. We'll go to the graph here and show you. So there's the snow on the graph. I mean, the graph might be the winner because
Yeah.
it's shown snow for the River Valley the whole time.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening. And then it clears out, and then let's see, anything back? Yeah, backside energy, a little flurry activity. Doesn't show a lot, but remember, it does not handle the back edge of those systems well. I'm not saying it's a lot, but I'm just saying a little dusting. Boy, the snow is.
How the graph has changed. I remember looking at that Friday morning, like building the show, and I was like, dude, that didn't tell a story at all. It was all up to the north, showing nothing.
Uh-huh.
Getting nothing. Glad to
Well-
see it's getting together.
So people wanted accumulations. Jeanette says accumulation. Well, here's what we've got. The graph. Oh, wait, go through all of them real quick.
You want to go through all the models? Okay.
Yep.
Hey, you guys, I got to go just real quick. Just hold on 1 second. I'll go ahead and let you guys go through these maps real quick. Just give me 1 second here.
Okay. I don't think we can advance it.
No.
Well,
he's going through it.
I can if I do this, if I log in.
Yeah.
But that's all right. He's just stepping through it here.
Hmm.
So, yeah, you can see over a foot in spots. So that includes the Kingston area.
It's funny.
now
The NAM also was
low.
way underdoing it, even yesterday.
Really low, yeah. And here's the thing. I don't know. I'm assuming this is a 10-to-1 ratio, honestly, on the snow total. It could be a Kuchera. I just don't know if it necessarily is. But these are our snow totals. We're talking over a foot. And I know I'm telling you what, Peyton, that is really hard to forecast.
Yeah, over a foot. That's pretty special for this area.
That's pretty special. I mean, considering you look at the scale, and I'm like, I knew we would have to go over 12 on the colors, but it's like you don't rarely see over 12 inches of snow. And here we are. As that storm's like, okay, you should have built the color table to 2 feet. But honestly, I think that's going to do most winter storms around here. But
Yeah.
this is it's coming down and will continue to come down. Now, thunder snow is not going to be an option with this one. Just doesn't have the upper level instability. The River Valley might see some thunder sleet. This is This is something that we haven't talked about. Frost quakes. Now, Peyton, this is something new maybe to you and understanding this, but all of this moisture will lead to water seeping into the ground. And because it's going to get so cold, the water deep below the ground is going to freeze. And because the water freezes deep below ground, that expands. When that expands, that causes the ground to crack, and that can cause what are called frost quakes. And,
I'm already looking at that. I've been looking at soil temperatures. 3-meter soil temperatures, and there's some spots where they even have deeper sensors. But yeah, I've been looking at that just because there's a lot of water.
How cold is the surface soil temperatures?
I'll pull it up right now.
All right. No, not good for snowmen. Good for sledding, good powder snow, but not good for snowmen initially. Yeah, 2011 was the 2-foot snowstorm. That was on February 9th of 2011. A snowstorm I remember very well. And the last time, that's the question. When was the last time this area had a foot of snow? February 9th, 2011 was the last big one.
Current
then
soil
another-
temperature is 33 degrees.
It's 33. Okay. Well, when we get down to 0, that's going to change. That's going to get a lot colder. So, yeah, there's going to be wind, and there's currently a lot of wind. What time will the roads get bad in the river valley? That is a good question. And I think those roads are going to be probably decreasing in, travelability probably during the afternoon. Well, you're seeing the predictions right there. Still thinking a foot in Springdale. It's 8 to 12 plus. The reason we got the 8 is you never know. Precipitation sometimes can dwindle. There's some stuff that can happen. And so with the wind, is it considered a blizzard? The wind has to be 35 miles an hour or greater for 3 hours, reducing visibility to 1/4 mile. There's Josh. Let me guess. You had to walk off the stage so the camera followed you, and then you exited stage right, and then had no idea where you went. Yeah.
Right over there. Yes. Right over there.
Stage right. I told my son, I said, you're not going to school the rest of the week. Not only is the snow going to come down and start to accumulate, but we're also going to see that potential for really cold temperatures. It's not even a potential at this point. It is going to be freezing.
Certain. Yes.
Yeah, it's certain. It's certain cold.
Yeah.
Certainly.
And we're not just going to like barely beat these record low temperatures either. I mean, it is just, we're going to crush it here in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley. I'm talking about like 10 plus degrees. Matter of fact, let me show the 7-day forecast real quick, guys, just because I want to show you what the record low temperatures are for Thursday and Friday morning in Northwest Arkansas.
Oh,
lows.
Josh, believe in heaven. 24 said, I went outside Springdale. It's actually sleet coming down and on the ground, not snow at 412 and Robinson Street. So there you go. Maybe that warm nose is starting to nose in, but I can tell you here in Fayetteville from the remote camera, that's all snow.
Yeah.
100%. Not as big of flakes as it was.
Yeah.
And look at the roads too. You can start to see tire tracks.
Yeah, starting to get icy.
Run for the hills. No, it's just a little bit of snow right now. Oh,
you got a fan, Dan. You got a fan.
I do, huh?
You gotta show these babies off here.
All right. Man, I did legs the other day. I can barely lift, but there they are.
Woo!
The bread and milk socks.
No eggs, because those are too expensive now.
I know. Exactly. Here's the thing, like James Spann out of ABC 3340 out of Birmingham, just an absolute legend in the field of meteorology and still continues to crush it this day. He showed those on social media, and I was like, oh, I got to contact a company. So it's out of Alabama that they make those. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting the bread and milk socks. Those are awesome. And needs more blizzards. He should just change his title there. But needs more blizzards says, I've seen nothing but snow here in Springdale. So he's in Springdale.
JT's new name. Need more blizzards.
Yeah, needs more blizzard. That's all there's to it.
Oh, man.
All right. There's a 7-day.
Yes.
Take us through it, Josh.
Look at the record low for Thursday morning. 7 degrees. Set pretty recently back in 2021. But look at our forecasted low temperature. 4 degrees below zero. And here's the deal, guys. And I talked to you about this yesterday, Dan. I think it could get even colder than that in Northwest Arkansas early Thursday morning. There is that potential. So we're going to dominate that record low. Maybe a little bit closer on Friday, but I still think it will be well below the 6 degrees that was set back in 1963. Right now we're forecasting 3. But, I mean, if you've got 8 to 12 inches of snowpack in Fayetteville, that record is going to be gone as well. So, yeah, next few days just going to be absolutely insane. 100% certainly going to be cold and certainly going to see record-breaking temperatures as well, which is kind of crazy because when you think about it, and this is why I always said going into this month that it's kind of the wild card month, guys, because earlier in the month we were talking about record highs, temperatures in the 80s in portions of our area, and now we're just going on the opposite end of the spectrum. Temperatures well below zero. You just gotta love the month of February in Northwest Arkansas.
Probably going to be severe weather by the end of the month.
Yeah,
To be honest with you.
absolutely.
And we're talking now here. I want to say this. I got to preface this, and I want you to bring us up here, Josh. Full. I've got to say this. We never use winter weather and call it severe weather. Too confusing. I can't say that with others. But severe weather is reserved for tornadoes, flash flooding, damaging winds, large hail. And I know flash flooding isn't a part of the storm prediction centers, things that they talk about. That's the Weather Prediction Center, so that's confusing in itself. But those are the keys: the tornadoes, the damaging winds, the large hail. That's severe weather. So we don't say severe weather when there's winter weather. Winter weather is winter weather. It's its own thing. Now, that's why we have a winter alert day. We made it blue. Probably should have made it pink. Peyton, we were talking about that multiple times, and we just forgot to do it like 14 times. I know. It's like, it's too much stuff going on. But anyways, winter weather, not severe weather when it's winter weather. I don't like that. That bugs me. It's irritating, and it's confusing in terms of messaging. So
It's a different beast, different animal.
Yeah, it is. It's totally different. Now, you can see severe weather and winter weather at the same time. That's happened too, where you got severe weather in one part of the state and winter weather in another part of the state. But it's too confusing. Oh, Alex Hall says, puking snow in Lincoln.
Puking snow.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, look at those. Yeah.
Woo!
Now, see, that's not super heavy now, but it's about to be. Remember, that band is just now moving into Lincoln. Give it about 5-10 minutes for those snow flakes to fall down.
It's gonna be crazy. Oh, the football field's starting to get covered now.
Yep.
Pea Ridge, here we go. You're not gonna see it for the next 5 or 6 days, maybe even more than that. Rogers' camera's still down right now, unfortunately.
I told Chris about it. I'm trying to bring that up.
But I can pull up a view of Pleasant Grove.
Yeah, there you go.
Very close to Rogers. And as you can see, starting to see some snow on the roads there. It's not too significant yet, but it's about to be.
Go back to, and it's not even noon yet. Go back to Mega Doppler real quick.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that band coming in.
Big time.
Look at west of Fort Smith. Now, that's got to be 40 dBz in terms of snowfall. It's got to be. Right there at the end. Go ahead and pause it on the last loop and then switch that radar mode. We've got to be seeing yellows in there.
Oh,
okay. There
yeah.
we go.
Big time.
35, 40 dBz.
Big.
So I don't think it's convective. I don't think there's conditional symmetric instability. I don't think we have instability, but it is a tremendous amount of isentropic lift. And so we are getting that incredible. We don't have any lightning, right?
No lightning. No lightning so far. But mesoscale banding possible.
Can you help me with this? The March tornadoes for sure this year. This is what I was wanting to click on. The Gravit camera. Oh, yes. Marilyn, this has been a frustration of mine for, I don't know, 6 months, more than that, honestly. I can't get the IT person to fix it. I've contacted the school. All they have to do is get it on the network. They're too afraid it's a security breach. And I'm at my wit's end. I contacted the school. Called multiple times to try to get that camera up and running. And it's just, at one point it's like, I can't do anymore except drive up there. And I just haven't had time. So Gravit, we're trying to get that camera. It is my sole, goal in life to get that Gravit camera. Okay, maybe that's a little above a stretch, but I want to get that Gravit camera working because it is in the northwest corner of Benton County, and it's so key in watching storms. And man, it's frustrating that that's still down. So, yeah, you ruffled some feathers there, not because of what your comment was, but it stirred up some emotion for sure. All right, back to the show. Snow coming down at Gaither Mountain. 40.
Not too heavy yet in Boone County, but that's going to change.
Yeah. So go back to Lincoln. I bet you Lincoln is just going to start snowing heavily. We're in just 5-10 minutes, you won't be able to see those hills off in the distance anymore.
Absolutely. By the way, when I switch sources on OBS, Dan, just want to let you know, some of them show my camera in correlation with the WeatherBug Network camera, and then others don't. Like these two do, but Harrison doesn't. So
what do you mean?
So right now I'm using OBS to flip through the cameras, so we could do it a little bit faster.
Yeah.
So some of the cameras, like the Harrison Gaither Mountain camera, I don't have my webcam showing up. Then other ones.
Oh, you know why? Because all the scenes have your webcam on there. You can just turn it on and off. So go back to Gaither Mountain.
Uh-huh. Oh.
There you go.
Hi.
That's why. So you can pop them on and you can pop them off. So that way you have the webcam abilities.
My face right now, to be honest with you.
That took a long time to do on all those. And so, I think we lost Peyton.
Yeah, Peyton. I think Peyton said he was dipping. He kind of waved to the camera as he was leaving. So I think he might be heading out. Maybe he'll give us a live shot somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. We agree.
Oh, the elevated mix layer. Look at this. Christian, what's going on? Hey, yeah, you remember Christian, right?
Yes. I know.
First of all, the best last name ever, Capehart. Love that.
Yes.
You've got the elevated mix layer at 700 destroying snow potential. That's because you got the dry air aloft. Brad, you are getting dunked on, though. Yeah.
Man. That's a good report out there. That's good to know what's going on there in central Oklahoma.
Love that.
Yes.
You know, Sulphur Springs would be key, too. Sorry. Go ahead, Josh. I think you were going to click on this one, P Ridge camera.
Bella Vista. Somebody was mentioning Bella Vista. This is a look at Bella Vista right now. So again, northern Benton County, and this has already happened earlier this morning, Dan, but the snowfall rates are already a little bit more significant in northern Benton County because earlier this morning we saw a band of snow that developed in southwest Missouri and kind of hugged that Missouri-Arkansas border and allowed for that evaporation to be overcome as it became saturated. That wet bulb started cooling off a little bit faster in northern Benton County. So we've already seen quite a bit of snow in Bella Vista and in P Ridge as well. Both of those cameras right now. Woo! Winter wonderland at this time.
Yeah, that one's down. That's going to be replaced, by the way. That's going to be replaced with a brand new camera. It just has to be a little time for that to happen.
It's going to be a clear view too, because a lot of these new cameras we're getting are just amazing.
Oh, they are so good. Like, look at Boonville. What's going on in Boonville? Can you? Oh, you're going to have to load that up in Weather Max because I haven't been able to make an overlay for it.
Yeah, no worries.
Guys, there's just so much to do behind the scenes in the weather lab, and that's why the workload has just been tremendous. Obviously, yeah. So Peyton said he was going to dip. He's got to get ready for those live shots, but I'm working on stuff, trying to get it all ready. Snowing and mix. It's already a mix in Boonville too. Now that is way south to have snow.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at Waldron too while we're at it.
Is that going to work? Because it was acting iffy yesterday. Yep.
Trash.
Let me tell you something. Keeping these cameras up is like daycare kids. Like
That's a
trying
perfect
to,
describe.
trying to keep all these daycare kids in line and in check, and then one starts acting like a temper tantrum, and then you're over there, attending to that, and then the next one starts throwing a little fit over here in the corner, and we just got to sit down and have story time so they all behave.
Yes, and it likes to do it, and like when it comes to like temper tantrums, right? They always happen at the worst possible time.
Oh yeah.
The Rogers camera works great when it's sunny outside, works great when there's nothing going on, but bam, we got winter weather and gone. Whoop.
Christian has a great comment. Said he was in Siloam for that 2-foot storm in 2011. That was insane.
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime event. It all happened in about 12 hours. So this is happening right now, but it's not quite as intense as 2011. 2011 was crazy.
Yeah, the one that I remember, and I talked to you about this, Dan, because I didn't live in Northwest Arkansas until 2013. Of course, 2013 to 2014 was a crazy winter in NWA. We had multiple storm systems that moved through the area. But the last time I've seen over a foot of snow was when I lived in Hot Springs for that Christmas 2012 system. That one was insane. In fact, it was a full-on blizzard just off to the north and east of Hot Springs around Jonesboro, right on neck of the woods. And that was a big-time system. Big tornado outbreak with that one, too.
What? The sun was trying to shine in Bella Vista a couple minutes ago? I wouldn't surprise me. This weather's so ridiculous. You should look at a visible satellite just to see.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a clearing. In the meantime, while you're getting that up, I'll bring up the roaming cam. Look at the streets now starting to go. Hey, Kingston is getting white. So Kingston, the storm that's named after your town, is coming in. And someone that on social media was wondering what was happening on that. We'll let that load here because it's going to take a little bit. Do you have the high res data on there, Josh?
Yeah, got the high res.
All right. Well, we'll let that load here for a little bit. In the meantime, I'll just do some comments. Okay. We got it.
Yeah, we got it. I'm going to move myself out of the way.
Yeah. A little bit of clearing. Look at that. Wild. Oh, wait. Not anymore.
Yeah, it's still loading in.
Okay.
That was earlier in the morning when you were seeing a little bit more. There we go.
Okay. I'll let it load a little bit. Lisa's like, no sun in my house in Bella Vista. Oh, okay. This is the question right here. Kristen, so that ice storm was, I can tell you exactly, January 26th to the 28th of 2009. 2009, 2010, 2011, really bad winters. After that, 2012 was the storm that you saw, Josh, in central Arkansas. And by the way, Northwest Arkansas, Fayetteville, missed the heavy snow by like 10 miles.
Yep.
About 4 inches south of Fayetteville at about, I'm going to say Chester. Chester had the snow.
Yeah, that's just too. I remember fondly going into it. It was Northwest Arkansas that was supposed to be in the bullseye. And then leading up to the event, about 24 to 48 hours out, it just kept shifting farther south. And not only did you end up getting the significant snow in central and northeast Arkansas, but you also got that full-on, I mean, it was a crazy tornado outbreak across the deep south, too. That was a very
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, was there a red sky in the morning?
Didn't have any sky.
Okay, all right. I didn't know. I bet you it was a red sky in eastern Arkansas. Look at that clearing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what's the bullseye for the storm? That's a good question. Stephanie, you were mentioning bullseye, Josh, a lot last time, and people thought you were playing darts.
Yeah, sure.
But really, you're talking about the heaviest snow swath. And I can tell you this, we are going to be on the southern end of the heaviest snow swath. I think the center of it is going to be southwest Missouri.
Yeah. And what we mean by that too, and when I'm talking about bullseye, let me pull up a computer model here real quick. So I'm going to pull up the HRRR, for example.
Yeah, Tabitha, you are correct. Christmas 2009 was the last white Christmas that we had in Northwest Arkansas.
Yes.
There was a little bit of snow in 2012, but I knew that was going to happen. Saw 2 halos yesterday, sunrise and sunset. Yeah.
Yeah. No surprise.
That's cool. Man, those are gorgeous when the sun is rising and you get the sun dogs on both sides. So, Springfield, that's possible. But honestly, I think that heavy snow swath a little south of Springfield.
I agree.
And that's exactly what James says. Banding is farther south than originally thought, isn't it? Peak.
Well, I was talking to Charles Peak from the Weather Channel, who also does some storm spotting for us. And he said that they were going to send him up to Springfield. And they ended up sending somebody else there. But I was like, well, maybe you got the story here in NWA. Maybe you don't have to go anywhere at all.
Yeah.
Sounds like Pink's got a forecast for us.
Yep. Peak is wanting to make another appearance here.
Yes. Pink, what do you think? What do you think about this?
What do you think, Pink?
You think this is to verify what we're seeing on the HRRR?
She's not happy. Pink. Hey, look at the camera.
I'm pulling this up full screen.
That was funny. Hi, the Binksy Bearsies. Hi. She can move though, man. I'll tell you. Watch. Set her down, and she'll be going.
Oh man, she was out like a rocket.
That's 17 years. I hope I move that well when I'm 17 times 7, man.
Yeah, same here.
That's
We
crazy.
had a Breakfast Buzz story this morning about somebody who was 96 years old still skiing up in Minnesota. So I'm like, man, I hope I'm doing something like that.
Those totals have dropped for Fayetteville now, haven't they?
They have just a little bit.
Yeah.
But you have to consider this though. I actually don't think they've dropped because this is the extended model. I actually don't think they dropped. I think it's just already factoring in what we've seen currently.
Oh, on top, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
on top. Yes. So I think that might be why it's showing less because it's only about 0.4 less.
Yeah, I got you. Plus, on top of that, too, River Valley, it's been having too much sleet.
Yeah. I mean, you go to the model run, and what Dan means by that, if you go to the model run here, because this is the same model that you're seeing. That was just the forecast of snowfall amounts. But look how much sleet it has in the River Valley.
Hey, let's look at the temperature. What is it right now? Go back to the beginning of it. Let's look out the window, as we like to say with the weather. And this is what we mean by looking out the window. This is literally looking out the window at the bottom of the screen. This is literally looking out the window, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about looking out the window. What are the current temperatures? Is it really 33 in Fort Smith? Doesn't appear to be. It's 28 in Fayetteville.
Yep. 25.
23 in Rogers. 34. Okay. It is above freezing.
So it's actually 1 degree warmer currently than what the model is forecasting. That's interesting. But look at all that cold air coming in. Ooh.
Hey, can you look at the Canadian?
Yeah.
The fact that Brooke knows that there's a Canadian model called a GEM, GEM, or a UK Met is pretty impressive.
That is. We got the most knowledgeable community of
Well done, Brooke.
meteorologists.
Brooke's awesome. She's the one that sent the thunder sleet video too. Yeah.
So there's a look at the Canadian for far northwestern Arkansas. And the Canadian, it's actually had less, Dan, than the other models, but it has the swath or the quote-unquote bullseye of heaviest snow right through Fayetteville, Springdale, and Huntsville. Way farther south.
Yeah. Let's do a satellite radar loop. I'm just trying to think of some stuff to show.
Yeah. And here's a wider view, by the way, of that Canadian model.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have nearly as much in Missouri. I don't know if I buy that.
Yeah, it seems a little too little.
A little
too little.
So there's a wider view. And if we go to water vapor here too, I'm going to take an even wider view here, Dan. You can see that energy is just now starting to dig in. So it's just now starting to dig in over the southwest United States. So that's why we've got a long way to go with this system.
And then look at over the Texas Panhandle. You see those bright blues showing up? That's the tremendous amount of lift, and that is the heavy banding that's coming in this afternoon.
Yep.
That's where things really start to crank up.
Yep, and your winds are going to start cranking up too as that moves in. That's why visibilities are going to go way down this afternoon.
Oh, snow is really coming down now. So you'll see that on the back edge. It's interesting. Go zoom into Fort Smith. You can see those 500 mil. By the way, those are the streamlines, but you can see those 850 winds starting to increase. And so see how that freezing line is fighting going back to the north? That makes sense because those 850 winds are really going to start cranking up. That's winds at 5,000 feet. It's a little warmer, and there's a warm nose that comes in. Why don't we show that graphic? Because it's kind of interesting how Northwest Arkansas is all seeing snow, which makes sense because it's deep enough cold air. And so, yeah, that's one graphic right there. And that shows you that solid blue line that's in the middle of the darker blue. That's where it's at 0 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And those southwesterly winds are warm winds. So that's why that's fighting that. But eventually, Arctic air is going to win out.
And it's going to win out big time.
Yeah. Here's a great report right here. Look at this. Cosmo says, Nob Hill, Pilgrim's Rest, 8:30, no sleet, no grapple, consistent snow, larger flakes last hour, but they're smaller again. Currently, it's falling heavier, though.
Yep.
Yeah, it's coming down now in Fayetteville, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be careful, especially if you get stranded on the side of the road and you're trying to keep your car warm. I mean, this is all like worst case scenario, but if you do get stuck and you're warming your car and the snow covers up your exhaust pipe, you can have carbon monoxide poisoning. So just be careful with that. I mean, this is like extreme worst case scenario stuff. I wanted to show the winter precipitation types if you could.
You mean the graphic that shows the different types of winter precip?
Yes. And we're going to do the one where it's a 3D view because this is exactly what we're looking at. So it starts off in a overhead view. It spins to a southwest, basically a west view, and you see the wedge of cold air coming in. Yeah, here it is right here. Bring this up full. And so this is what we had yesterday into this morning, this wedge of cold air that comes in. So you'll notice that Northwest Arkansas is kind of more in the deeper Arctic air layer. And then here's this warm layer above freezing that comes in from the southwest, which is what you were seeing on those models. So farther south in southeast Oklahoma, you're seeing all rain. But there's going to be some higher elevation spots where freezing rain is going to be possible because the temperature just drops off a little bit below freezing above the surface. Every now and then we might get some sleet, but the warm layer of air is getting less and the deeper cold air at the surface is getting a little thicker. And then we've got all snow or partially melted snowflakes. So that's the reason you see your winter precipitation types. I think that's a real telling graphic.
I love that graphic too. And, I was talking to you about this yesterday too, Dan, and talking with Charles Peak about it as well. Topography does play a role in this as well. The Boston Mountains are a blocking pattern, especially for that deeper Arctic air. You can get that shallow Arctic air mass in the river valley initially, but typically if the cold air is coming in, especially that deeper Arctic air, if it's coming in the day of the event, that's why a lot of the times there's a delay in the river valley in terms of changing over from that wintry mix to all snow, because the Boston Mountains can block off that deeper Arctic air. So you get more of a shallow Arctic air mass in the river valley rather than that column of air above the surface being below 32 degrees to get all snow.
Exactly. Hey, go to the Lincoln camera if you could, Josh. Let's see if that heavy snow is starting to materialize and we can. Yeah. Well, there you go. That is puking snow right there. Golly.
Puking.
That is heavy snow right there. Remember those hills?
Yep.
They gone.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's crazy. That's really heavy snow.
That is really coming down.
Oh, by the way, it's only 11:30.
Yeah.
We
That's
got
going to be an inch and a half an hour.
Yep.
Now, that won't be snowing that heavy the whole time. If it does, we're getting over a foot.
How about 2 feet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Start talking 2 feet.
So check out, let's go back to the radar
Yep. Mega Doppler here.
in winter precip mode.
Yep. By the way, there's that really heavy precipitation
Yep.
going on there near Fort Smith.
Oh, yeah. That is right over. And that's about to make its way on the I-49 corridor. That's some heavy snow. What about Kessler?
See what Kessler's got cooking up right now.
So you were wondering where that was? Yeah. That's a live image, by the way. That's not just white out. That is white out conditions. This shows you, oh my goodness. If you were in higher elevations, go back to that Kessler camera again, which by the way is on the west side of Fit. You can't see anything.
Nope.
Wow.
That's a problem.
Now that's white out.
Yes. Yes.
You're literally in the clouds there.
Got your head in the clouds. Over
Sweet.
Kessler Mountain.
Bradley, yeah, send it on X. Love to see it, man. Go back to Lincoln because someone asked where that was, and you brought it up. So this is Lincoln. This is southwest of Fayetteville in Arkansas. If you're watching the stream from somewhere else, sure, it's snow. It's exciting. And go back to the radar on Mega Doppler, and there's the city of Lincoln, and look at that heavy snow band. That's not even the heaviest snow, honestly.
I know.
Rhea is going to get.
This is lining right up with Fayetteville, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's approaching 40 dBz. Go to the preset mode again.
Yep.
Oh, it's getting close. Not quite there yet. Yep, starting to show some 40. can confirm it's puking snow.
I love that way to describe it. That's how I'm going to describe it from now on. Just puking snow in Bella Vista.
Well, that kind of describes you a little bit too.
Well, yeah. Sunday night. Yeah, I told you, Sunday night, man, was rough. And last
That's
night,
not laughing, but yeah, that's not
I'm
good.
telling you, man, whatever's going around is no joke. It is no joke. But I am negative for COVID and flu, so if I still had that, I wouldn't be here. But Dan, you know this. If I have something going on and I'm not tested positive for anything, I'm coming in. It's just you can't keep me away.
You're like a dog after a treat, holding the leash back, and they're like, they just want that treat, and you're just like pulling them back, especially if it's a big dog. That's like you coming into work.
Yep.
All right, so a good question. Peter's like, is that going to move up into Benton County? It appears it will, but here's what's different about winter weather is that it's not like rain on radar. That may dissipate. This storm could dump all that snow. The returns start lightening up by the time it makes it into Benton County. But there's going to be additional development in terms of that snowfall.
We're very early in the system, and that's the difference between severe weather setups and winter weather setups. Severe weather setups, everything evolves pretty fast, very quickly. Winter weather, it's slow as molasses a lot of times. So you just have to give it time.
Let's look at the Fulbright Junior High Weather Bug Network camera. That's pretty close to Wally World and the home office.
Yep. So you can see there, though, Dan, on the roadways, or at least in the parking lot there, not too bad.
They must have treated the heck out of them.
Absolutely. There's the Bentonville Square. Looks much lighter in Bentonville right now.
But that makes sense because the heaviest snow is farther south. However, let's look at a future track on which is not perfect, but let's look at a graph 3 kilometer and then the hourly updated HRRR.
Yes. So let me pull up the graph 3 kilometer right now. Stand by. This is going to be very high res.
I did, Grant. I said Josh got that dog in him, especially when it comes to the Razorbacks. You got that hog in you.
Got that hog in me. Woo, woo.
Yeah, so 7 p.m. going to be rough. I will make it home from work.
Look at the 3 kilometer. That's not very good. That's kind of trash. Not going to lie.
You know what I do with that?
It's sus.
Crumple it and throw it out the window.
That's garbage.
Man, that's not even close.
Look at this.
But here's the thing that you need to see. See those darker blues? That's heavier snow, and it still shows that potential. But it's already happening now. So that shows you we still see heavy snow all the way through the evening hours.
Through about midnight.
I'm interested to see what this ends up doing. I really am.
Well, we could crumble that in the trash, but let's look at the HRRR that's updated hourly.
See, and this makes sense, Amy, because it's all about snow rates. The faster the snow rates, the more it's going to pile up on the roads. As soon as that happens, then that's when the roads will start going downhill. And you'll see this. You'll actually see an exact version of this. See, there's the tire tracks. When this band of snow comes in, Josh, it looks like it will. And see, that's garbage too.
Yeah.
Unless that warm nose comes in and it starts sleeting and then it just throws everything off.
But you know what I'm interested to see?
Possible.
I want to see what the profile is. I want to see what the sounding shows. You know, because remember yesterday you were showing that on the live stream, right? HRRR showing sleet, but then you look at the sounding and it's snow.
Well, stand by. I got you covered, man.
Dan's got it right here. I want to see. I want to see if this is legit. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah, I bet it looks like a snow profile. That's just doesn't seem feasible. Especially if that snow continues to fall too. You know, if it's heavy snow, that column of air above the surface stays cool.
First of all, this is trash as well. All right, so here we go. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to share this tab instead. We're going to go here, make this full screen. Pivotal weather, great site. There's Fayetteville. You'll notice it shows what is that? That's a sleet profile, purples. We're going to click on Fayetteville. We're going to get a sounding. And that is not a sleet profile. Nor does it even say the best guess precipitation type is sleet.
Oh, my goodness.
Get that trash out of here.
That's garbage, man. That's garbage.
And we called that too yesterday. So I'll go forward again. Now, look. Here we go again. Sleet profile. Freezing rain. My foot.
What?
My foot. Freezing rain. That's way below freezing.
That's way below freezing. It's not even close.
It's probably because it's on that FV3 core. Trash.
That's garbage.
So you know what? When it's talking about accumulation totals, it's off.
Yep.
Throw it out the window. It's done.
Yep. Cooked.
Barely shows anything here because I think this is all sleep. Yeah, 0.7 in like 30 minutes.
Yes.
Look at the cameras.
Yeah, look at all that sleep. Man, look at all that.
I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah, look at all that.
Tons of sleet there.
Oh, look at this sleet. Look at this sleet in Lincoln. My goodness, that is Sleet Mageddon.
That's 6-sided sleet flakes.
Yeah.
Stupidest thing. So here's the thing, Tamra. the reason we're showing you this is because we're going to get more snow than what the HRRR shows, because it's showing it's sleet when it's actually snow, and sleet cuts down on your snow totals. But this is what we mean by looking at the details. You can't just look at the models and be like, oh, well, it's a freezing rain profile. It's purple and pink. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not even showing that on its information. That's the thing that's frustrating. It would be a different story if it says it's sleet and then you click on it and it shows sleet.
But it's not even close. And not only that, for Northwest Arkansas as well, the what I was just talking about with the cold air getting dammed up in the Boston Mountains. Well, the opposite is true when you've got the boundary trying to lift back to the north, or the 850 millibar temperatures trying to lift back to the north. The mountains can block that too. So
Yeah.
it is cold.
And cold air doesn't move as fast as warm air. I mean, it's dense. It's hardcore. And you know what's weird is snow's changing directions too.
Yes.
Might have a tornado coming through here. No, I'm just kidding.
Snowdado. Somebody was talking about that yesterday.
Edward wanted the snownado.
He did. Yes.
Sneet. How about sneet? Yeah.
Neat. I like that.
Sneet.
Alex,
You know, it's not sneet. The HRRR's algorithm on precipitation type. That's not neat.
Yeah. That's garbage. That's sus. Models equals trash. Robert Murphy.
So here's a great example. Look, I want to bring this back up here real quick, Josh. That's showing 0.2 of an inch of freezing rain because that's what it showed on the models, but yet the sounding didn't verify that at all. That's not happening.
Nope.
Just take that. We're gonna wipe it out and just erase it, just like this. Just kind of like erase it. There we go.
Gone. Yeah,
Gone.
doesn't even exist.
Garbage.
That's so garbage.
That's so frustrating. And this is why it takes a long time to forecast winter weather and why there's so many variables. Let's show the next people that are going to get slammed by snow.
Yeah. Let's give you Mega Doppler right now. And it's starting to move into Fayetteville. That big
Ooh, brother.
in Lincoln. Here it comes, Fayetteville.
So put that into motion.
Ground. But here it comes. Middle of it.
Oh.
Very heavy precipitation here at Fort Smith. There's those yellows again. Just
Yep.
off this is Cedarville.
Now that's a different scale than what you normally see on TV, and that's called clear air mode scale. What VCP are they in right now? 35?
Yep.
Okay. So that's a volume coverage pattern. So this is a good question here. We've got it. Grapple, snow pellets. Go ahead and show our grapple forecast, because you've got a layer of supercooled water that is above freezing, or it's below freezing, but it's still liquid. And so those snowflakes essentially collect supercooled water droplets, and that supercooled water droplets lead to what I like to call them Dippin' Dots.
That's a perfect way to describe them.
Yeah.
They look exactly like them, too.
Man, I wish they tasted like them.
Yeah, I know.
No, wait a minute. What if I made snow grapple instead of snow ice cream?
Snow grapple. Snow dots.
Yeah.
There you go. I like
that. Take us through that again.
Yep. So let's start at the beginning right here. Let's start.
All right. So what is grapple? Grapple is where you have precipitation that's falling as snow in that cold layer. But there is the warmer layer of air that has raindrops, but they're super cooled, meaning because of latent heat release, there's still water at temperatures below 32. As that snowflake falls in that super cooled water, it starts collecting water droplets. And as those water droplets freeze, which are called rime ice, that freezes onto the snowflake. And then as that falls, that becomes a solid, not a solid ball of ice, but a mushy ball of ice.
Yes. Just
Unlike
like
hail, they are soft and crushable and delicious.
Yep. and they don't hurt you as much either.
That's cool. So great question. Again, the reason we were going through that is what does it take to get grapple? And so I would show you an atmospheric profile according to the models, but they're all trash.
Garbage.
Oh, snowing like the dickens now. Look at this. Watch those tracks start disappearing here.
They're gone. You're seeing it in real time.
Yeah. Oh, listen to this. I think he's just wishing for snow dots, but yeah, still a mixture of sleet ice cream dots. I like that emoji. What is that emoji?
Yeah, I know. That's a YouTube emoji. You can only get those on YouTube.
Really?
Yep. It's
Oh, I like
YouTube
them.
exclusive. Yes.
Looks like the Cookie Monster.
It kind of does. Looks like he's eating the Dippin' Dots.
Yeah. Snow mix in Springdale over by the municipal airport. Oh.
Dan, I think you got a lucrative business opportunity here. I think you could start a little small business off of this.
You know, I'm going to say that right here. Anthony says, if anyone needs their drivers cleaned out, reach out to me. So this is a good, I'm putting that on there because that's actually could be a good story for our newscast.
Yeah, absolutely. Be awesome. People doing good in the community.
I don't know. Don't know, Jeremy. You're posted right there. It worked.
Yeah.
But you can send 200 stars. I don't know what it does.
I don't know. We'll take it. I love stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did it stop in Bella Vista? So it's just, this is the problem. Ebbs and flows of precipitation. So it's still snowing. It might not be as heavy.
Yeah, Benton County's not seeing a heavy swath of precipitation right now. If you look at the camera and then you go to Mega Doppler, and if I go a little bit farther to the north towards Bella Vista, as you can see, the precipitation rates are much lighter right now. But that will change because look at this. They got a band developing right here. And if that stays together, that's going to lift right into northern Benton County. So we're early. We're early, folks. It's only 11:48. Got a long ways to go.
We haven't looked at iDrive like for a while, and I'm thinking this is going to get pretty bad.
We got accidents, that's for sure. We've got 3 alone on the Fulbright Expressway right now. I'm going to show you that here.
We probably could have watched that stream and watched someone spin out. They were going so fast.
I know. You could just keep it on that camera the whole time. But let me go to Weather 1 here. This is iDrive Arkansas. Look at this, Dan.
Hey, can I, before you do that, Josh Myers, are you planning on streaming this afternoon? We could use your streams for the newscasts for sure. And even some phoners too, if we could.
Yeah, absolutely. Any of the storm spotters that are watching, Colby Ward.
Yeah.
Effect.
Colby Ward, Michael Craddock, James Hilger, all those people. We could use that. Might want to send a message on the Facebook spotter group. That's something else I was supposed to do, and I just didn't have the time. Yep. Slipping out.
Slipping out.
Oh, look. Bumper laying on the ground.
Man, he must have been going fast.
Well, I mean, it looked like it. People are just flying like it's the everyday road conditions, and it's not.
Yeah. And here's the deal, all-wheel drive obviously is better. But even in an all-wheel drive vehicle, you need to take it slow. You need to take it nice and easy because you can lose traction. It's just much better to take it slow, give yourself plenty of time, and really stay off the roadways at this point. I mean, if you don't need to be out there, then stay off the roads because it's only going to get worse, especially this afternoon. Man, look at that 18-wheeler though. That guy is booking it.
I know.
He is going way too fast.
Until he can't go fast anymore.
Yep. People are going 70 still. Wow. That's crazy. Matthew Lowe, one of our storm spotters as well, sent in a report. He was out on Walnut and 24th and Olive Street saying that roads were starting to get white. So the side roads starting to get covered, Dan. Even the treated ones. 4-wheel drive does not mean 4-wheel stop. That is absolutely correct. Thanks for teaching me about grapple. I wonder what the storm was a few years ago when it rained grapple and it turned into a sheet of ice. That could definitely happen. And Veronica, I wonder, Dan, if Veronica's talking about that thunder sleet that we had a couple of years ago. You remember that? You won an Emmy off of that with that thunder sleet that happened in far northwestern Arkansas. That was an interesting system because I remember I wasn't working here at the time yet. But I remember up in Bella Vista, I was looking at radar, and I'm like, man, these kind of look like supercells right now.
Yeah, they literally were. They were supercells. It was crazy.
Yes. I mean, you want a sleet NATO. I mean, there was some rotation showing up on radar. I was like, this is crazy.
So Christian said, look at the College of DuPage radar mosaic, Luke. You can see all kinds of warm advection, and on the edge of the 700 millibar moist layer, you can also see the precip falling apart before getting to northern Benton County. Which makes sense until that starts really getting saturated. So, without further ado, let's show you that here.
There it is.
There it is. There's the 700 millibar, and you can see the really strong precipitation with that banding. But then you've got a little less over Benton County. Now, keep in mind, this is all going to fill in over time. It just takes a while. Look at all that warm air advection, though. See, this is where thunder sleet could take place and thunder freezing rain farther south. You can kind of see the convective nature of that. In fact, if we go to subregional sectors, bring this up, let's look at the water vapor and let's see if there's any type. So a little bit right here, the little dry pockets. Look at all that energy swinging in.
Yes. Yeah,
Look at all that lift.
It knows its way in.
Wow. Pretty cool.
Yes, and on the leading edge of those dry punches too, that's where you get your really heavy precipitation rates. That's where you get your banding, and that's where some of those bullseyes can set up right there. Those bullseyes of heavier snowfall or heavier sleet that really enhance your rates.
Does not mean 4-wheel stop. I know exactly. Do me a favor and let's look at the road conditions on iDrive, not just the camera view.
Yes. So let me turn off these cameras here, and then we take a wider view here. So this is a look at northwest Arkansas. Blue means snow covered, and you can actually.
It might mean partially covered too.
Yes. So mostly clear. So what you could do is when you're on iDrive Arkansas, you could click on individual sections of the road. So this section that I'm clicking on right now is the Bobby Hopper Tunnel to U.S. Highway 71, so towards the Fulbright Expressway. And generally along this section of the highway, it's mostly clear. I can go to another one here near Springdale. This is from U.S. Highway 71B to the Benton County line. As you can see, partly covered in these areas. So that's a little trick for you if you want to see how exactly it's covered or how much is covered on the roadways with that particular winter precipitation type. But Dan, I'm seeing a lot of accidents that are starting to show up here. Here's another one. This is near Falcon Road.
Oh, yeah.
0.4. And around Springdale.
And the problem is that we're getting colder and colder. And the colder we get, which will be colder, there's no doubt about it. The colder we get, the worse the roads are going to be because the treatment's not going to be effective anymore.
Yep.
This is why at school you can forget about it the rest of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said to that one student yesterday, propaganda.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was funny.
No, Matthew.
Oh, Matthew.
Oh, no.
Nope.
Patience, my man, patience. And you got to have that as a winter storm.
Dan, I want to show you Mega Doppler real quick. Because look at this just off to the west of Tahlequah.
Oh. Yeah.
That is really heavy snow.
Yep.
That's starting to develop. That's just now starting to develop there, too. Woo.
It's going to be some serious banding. Yeah. But this is different than the real tight, compact February 9th, 2011 snowstorm. It's weird. Some of these snowflakes, this shows you the light and fluffy snow. They're going up. Like literally like the movie Up. These snowflakes are going up. Some of them.
Gotta get carried by that wind. That's what we're talking about when we say blowing snow. Which
Look at the tracks starting to disappear.
See ya.
I'm glad this isn't happening in the spring and summer. This would be a heavy rainmaker, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. Dude, this would be a big time.
Yeah, bring up thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Go ahead and bring up if you do Fort Smith's WeatherBug network camera. We'll do 2 of them. Miss Laura's.
That's rain.
That's totally rain. So there you go. That warm air is starting to win out. Oh, that's going to be an icy sheet of garbage.
Yep. That will freeze over in the river valley. That's going to be rough.
That's going to be rough tomorrow, later on this evening, too.
Yep. And how about just rough for the next 3, 4, 5 days? You know? There's
Has
not
a cold front come through? Yeah. And it's getting a lot colder. There's a secondary push of cold air.
Check this out. You want to
Let's
see what happens?
look at those temperatures, Josh.
Yeah. Check this out. Pull this up on Weather One here. Look at that.
Golly, 19.
Yeah. You talk about some snow ratios that are changing. That's happening in the Grove right now.
Icy sheet. That does sound like a good 90s band. You got Icy Sleet of Garbage, Icy Sheet of Garbage, and then you got Thunder Sleet, which is a good name for a heavy metal band.
Yes. Thunder Sleet sounds. That sounds like Zach Gilday's heavy metal band, if he ever had one. By the way, there's that cold air that I was talking about that gets dammed sometimes in the Boston Mountains. You can actually see it. See those darker blues? And then there's the tunnel right there. And then south of there, those temperatures are a little bit warmer. So it takes a little bit longer in the river valley for things to evolve with a system like this.
Go into the wider view. Show what these darn temperatures are above to our north.
Yeah, let's check that out.
Oh.
How about 1 degree in Wichita? It's coming. It's coming our way too. That's the thing. We're gonna get that cold. We're gonna be as cold as Goodland, Kansas, in some spots.
And then look at up north. Go even wider.
Go even wider. Woo!
Man, this is a big one. Big
It is.
drop in temperatures.
Look at this Arctic air. Look how much it's pushing south through central Texas.
Look at the whites that are showing up, man.
That's crazy.
I've got one that goes through Canada. We should look at that.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I actually already have it in my show. So watch this. Minus 22 in Edmonton.
Yep. That's not even the coldest yet.
Now, here's the deal about the Yukon Territory in Alaska, which this is where we're at right now. A lot of times when it gets this cold down here, we're actually colder than a lot of locations in Alaska because all that cold air spills to the south. So we might be colder than Dawson and Old Crow this week.
I know.
Wild?
This is hilarious. JT's like, just like the scene in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. What's the temperature? 1. I know. Exactly. when they came out and they're like, and they had the icicles hanging off of them in the car, and then the dog has his slobber all frozen too. Tries to reach for his gloves. He's like, "You want the glove?" And he can't get the gloves. It's freezing. You saw that movie. You came to my house and saw that movie, right?
I know. Yeah, I did, and I'm now cultured. That's all I'll say on that front. I'm cultured now, Dan.
So good. At least your hand isn't in between 2 pillows.
Yeah. By the way, look at that. Hey, Fort Smith, Canada.
Oh man. Now, really, the cold air is already plowed south of there, so the coldest air is a little bit farther south. That's where those whites are showing up. And I don't even know if I have temperatures there, honestly.
We don't have it quite to those areas. Yeah, it's only in West Canada.
Oh, great. This is where you have problems. James says, Carroll Electric just sent a message saying be prepared for power outages.
Oh, no.
I thought they just said everything's fine. But
Yes,
the demand with all the cooling is going to be cooling, more like freezing.
Yeah.
Even Pink's scared now too. Pink.
Pink's like, no.
Pinks. I don't think she likes me up here doing these live streams because this is her domain, and she's like, "I want to take a nap, and you're being too loud."
Yeah, this is my area right now.
I know. Hi, Pink.
Come here, Pink. There's Pink on the map. We got to have you on here now. There's
You
Pink on
hear
the map.
her? Pink. She definitely talks. There's no doubt
He's
about
talking
that.
back to you.
Hey, Pink. Yeah. You want some food? Yeah. Pink.
No.
Pink. 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 Hmm? You want some food?
I can tell she's giving you sass with that tail.
Oh, she does. Yeah, she's sassy.
It's straight. That's what Harper does to me, too.
She's probably saying, clean out that litter box, Dan. It's been a few days.
Well, Dan's been busy, Pink. Dan's been busy burning the midnight oil, quite literally.
Man,
Cool.
ain't that the truth. I wonder if my wife's doing all right. She's supposed to drive around. She's got some showings and all that stuff. Oh, I have. I've been giving the cat attention. Look, I'll show you what I've got.
Put this into a side view here. You don't want to zoom in on my face right now, folks. By the way, I just got like this whole thing of tissues. This is use this all day long. I've got 2 more packets that I've already used as well.
Peaks. I don't think she's liking this.
Pink.
Already an inch in Farmington. All right, so Mega Doppler. You know what? There's a lot of people that are on here that probably are just joining. They want to know what the heck is going on and not about our cats.
Well, yeah.
Or my cat or your dog.
Yeah.
I'm going to crack the whip, man. I know, not scientific. I know.
Oh.
So let's get back to what we got here on Mega Doppler. Man, that banding is really starting to pop up.
It's significant. That's for sure. And you're starting to see it too. Lift into Fayetteville, lift into Springdale, Winslow, get some very heavy snowfall. Man, Lincoln right now, though, Dan, the big winner so far. Lincoln's been getting that consistent snow band. I'm going to take a quick look at the WeatherBug Network camera. Still got very heavy snowfall going on there. So
the colder it gets, the more it's going to accumulate on those roads.
Absolutely. And here's a look at satellite radar. Again, this is a 6-hour loop, so you can see that energy just kicking in over the area. Earlier this morning, there wasn't a whole lot of it. Now it's starting to push into the area, and it's only going to get heavier as we move throughout the rest of the day today. Let's go ahead and look at some future tracks again here, because it's been a little while since I've shown a future track. I'll show a couple of models. So here's the HRRR. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model. So again, Dan, and we were talking about this earlier in the live stream. The HRRR wants to lift this sleet back into Fayetteville. Just don't know if I buy that. Now, you look at the sounding. You look at the sounding. You look at the profile above our heads. It's a snow profile. Even the HRRR is saying that. So maybe sleet in the River Valley, though there has been some reports of snow already. Maybe a wintry mix in the River Valley. But for Northwest Arkansas, north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel, this is going to fall, in our opinion, in the form of snow throughout this entire event. And you'll see as we move throughout the rest of the day, we get that mesoscale banding that starts to develop as well. That's where those heavier snowfall rates are going to be seen, and that northeasterly wind between 10 to 20 miles per hour, which will reduce visibility to less than a quarter of a mile.
If it's barely snowing, it won't stick because it's too light for it to accumulate. But that, like I said, there's a lot of time for this to evolve, and there's more precipitation out west.
Yeah.
Here is what Josh was mentioning here. I'm gonna. Here, okay, so this is the newest HRRR. It's up 6 hours. It's updating. Here it shows right here over Fayetteville. You ready for this, Josh?
Yep.
Drum roll.
Boom.
Snow profile, and yet it still shows sleet.
It makes no sense. It just makes no sense.
Why is it doing that?
I don't understand.
It's got a little bit of elevated instability. 3 for the mostly unstable Cape. 3.
3. There you go.
Yeah, that's not. But that doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense, especially when you consider that the cold air is now. I mean, for Northwest Arkansas, north of the tunnel, that cold air is going to be stubborn. It's going to be stubborn within the mountains. I just don't see that warm nose making its way back into Fayetteville or portions of Washington County. I just don't see it happening.
You know, here's the deal. Honestly, is this just an HRRR problem? Let's look.
It's a good question.
Let's look at the NAM 3 kilometer. Let's see. Okay, so we got that. We click on that. I'm just giving it the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
Okay, so that is, see, there's a little temperature right there where it's just a little above freezing.
Yep.
Not much.
That was right on the sleet.
So that makes sense.
Yep.
Now here's the thing: is it a pivotal weather kind of thing?
That's a good question too.
Well, the problem is you can't get HRRR soundings without buff kit data.
Yep.
I don't think there's any way to get HRRR soundings, right?
I don't think so. Can't do it on
Can't do it on Weatherbell.
Nope. It's only buff kit.
Oh, Cliff Notes version. Well, considering it took me 2 weeks to learn how to read a SKU-T in college, I will do my best in a short amount of time. But yeah, here, I'll show you.
I love it when you do this. You've done this a few times in the past too, giving this Cliff Notes version on the live streams.
Yeah, Cliff Notes version on the live streams on sounding. So first of all,
yeah, I'll be right back.
all right. So a sounding, essentially what it is you have, let me bring this up full so you can see. The green line is the dew point temperature. The red line is the temperature. Think of a weather balloon that you're launching in the air, okay? And the reason it's called a SKU-T is because these lines that you see that are skewed from bottom left to upper right, those are called isotherms, meaning lines of equal temperature. So if I were to have a balloon and I were to launch it in the air and it stayed right on this blue line right here all the way up, that means that the entire column of the atmosphere would be at 0 degrees Celsius, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So anything to the left of this blue line right here is below freezing. Anything to the right of it is above freezing. The short green lines that you see are called mixing ratio lines. It's not really important for this. The closer the red and the green line are is saturation. And this is the height, essentially 1 kilometer, 3 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 9 kilometers. So we take a weather balloon and we launch it. We got a surface temperature at 23 on this sounding, and we got 19 for the dew point. So a little bit of a temperature dew point separation. The higher up you go, you get what's called saturation. Saturation is where you have 100% relative humidity, and therefore you're seeing precipitation. But here is that warm air layer that's developing. And how do you know that? Because the line, instead of it going from bottom right to upper left, it goes bottom left to upper right. So if you look at these temperature lines, imagine there's invisible lines on here. We're starting here at about 10 degrees Celsius, and we go down to about -3 degrees Celsius. Oh, yeah, you're right. Tropical tidbits, you can. So let's see if it's after we do that, I'll look at this. So this is called an inversion because the temperature is increasing with height from just under 1 kilometer to about 3 kilometers. And then after that, it starts cooling again. So this is that warm layer of air from what we call southwesterly winds. You know what's frustrating? You can't see my cursor. Well, that is stupid. No, Jeremy, it's metric because all stuff is done. Stand by. That's frustrating. Okay, stop sharing. Go here. You can't see that. You couldn't see the cursor. So that made it even more of a difficult process to see what it was. So let me go back here and share this again. Whoa. Add that to the stage. Okay, now you can see my cursor. Golly. Okay, you were still getting it. But anyways, this is the temperature inversion right here from 10 degrees to -3, and then it cools off aloft. So this is that warm nose that's happening. If anything is to the right of the 0 degrees Celsius line, it's going to be above freezing. Well, this is an entire saturated column all the way up to 9 kilometers where it is above or it's below freezing. So if we scroll down here, you can see the best precipitation type, snow. Now, hey, Josh, tropical tidbits.
Tropical tidbits.
Yep, I forgot about this. Forecast models. Go to mesoscale, go to the HRRR.
Wintry tidbits.
Yeah. Let me zoom in on the trying to remember how to get a zoomed in view. I don't know if you can. It's been a while since I've done this. Let's see here. Huh.
I don't know. I don't know if you can zoom in.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Yeah, I think it's just a wide view.
Well, anyways, regardless, wide view, it's showing wintry precipitation. Let's see if I click on it. What is it going to show? Yeah. So it's not a problem with pivotal weather. It's strictly a problem with the HRRR.
Yep. It's got to be fixed.
It's trash.
Yep, because it impacts the amount of snow that it's showing.
Yep. The wind really picked up in the spring in Siloam. We should look at a Siloam camera. So here's the deal. I think we're going to go 2 hours on this stream and then shut it down.
Yep. I think so too.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Woo! Get you some. And those buses aren't going to be moving for the next several days. We should see how high the snow gets for those buses. See how much it piles up on those.
So the plus is to speed up or slow down the loop, Ron. Because if I do this and then I hit plus, you'll see it speeding up the loop. And then if I hit minus, it'll slow down the loop.
Yeah, unfortunately, no way to.
Unless I can click.
Oh, what? Oh,
Nope.
just a box sounding.
Yeah.
A very big one. That would have been a massive box sounding. There you go.
But it just doesn't zoom in.
Yeah.
But hey, at least we can get a sounding.
Exactly. And we could see if it's a pivotal weather problem or model problem. Which is
And it's not.
his fault.
Look at this garbage.
This is the worst one out of all of them.
Look at that. FB3. No wonder it's less snow. It doesn't barely even has anything developing at 3 o'clock. Let's look at 3 o'clock on the models. Yeah. Nah.
Garbage. And then if I go here to the HRRR, even the HRRR.
Oh, duh. That's right. Yep. I knew there was something you can zoom in. You click on regions. There you go. Now we're good.
There you go.
Thank you, Carly. I haven't looked at tropical tidbits in a while. There we go. Now we're zoomed in a little more. You can go to regions. I don't think you can get individual states though. But yeah, there's your region, South Central.
Now I learned that you can look at soundings on Tropical Tidbits.
Yeah, hey, I learn something new every day about the weather.
Yeah.
Every day is an understanding and an unlearning curve.
This is very useful.
But let's go deep into the heart of this wintry precipitation. Ready? Deep into the heart of it.
Gadoosh.
It still
As
is a
snowy as
snow
it
profile.
gets. Yeah. As snowy as it gets.
Oh, let me tell you something, Kyle. We are cooking with gas with our Hodograph program too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you want to see some excellence, I'll show you some excellence.
Yes. I mean, we've already gotten to test it out for a few systems out in the deep south, and it's fantastic. You can see it all in real time.
It's a little buggy now because we've been doing some updates to it, including adding MRMS data. Oh yeah, Turd Ferguson knows. I like the umlaut, by the way, over the U. Turd Ferguson.
The turd index.
But if we go share screen, this is the Hodograph analysis tool that we can bring up full, adding to the stage. Check this out now. We can click on sound. We can click on the Hodograph.
Well, now it has the radar on it.
It's got the MRMS data on there. So let's do. Let's click on INX. So we click on INX. That's going to load up INX. And like we said, I think it's double loading the radar information. So, oh, there's my wife calling. Josh, take over. I'm going to be answering that.
Yep. Yeah, we'll talk about the system that's moving through right now. So let's go ahead and go to Mega Doppler here. Just wanted to show people an updated look at the radar. Again, a really heavy band of snow moving through portions of Washington County right now in around Fayetteville. So far, Lincoln has got the most significant snowfall so far. That band has kind of been moving over the same area over the last hour. If we go to that Lincoln camera, look at this. Very heavy snowfall going on in Lincoln. Can barely see the hills anymore. It's starting to become snow covered. It's really starting to ramp up over far northwestern Arkansas, pretty much right on cue, right when we expected it. Now, I know a lot of folks are saying, look, Bella Vista, I'm not getting a whole lot right now. Other folks saying 1.5 inches of Rogers, it's done, it's over with. But here's the deal. If I go to a wider view here on Mega Doppler, you see that is far from the truth. We are just now starting, folks, with this system, because look at all these pink and purple colors that you're seeing out west. That is really heavy snowfall that is starting to push towards northwest Arkansas right now. So give it some time in Benton County. Right now it's very light, but it is going to change as this lifts off to the north and east. And temperatures are dropping off really quickly as well. So we go back to weather one here. This is a look at the HRRR again. Not very good when it comes to showing a snow profile in Fayetteville. We know this is all snow. I know it says it's wintry mix, but look at this. Colder air seeping into the river valley as well. I do anticipate more of a wintry mix in the river valley of snow and sleet, but that should transition to all snow as we move throughout the rest of the day. So by the time we get to about 8, 9, 10 p.m., we'll start to see this wrap up, and most of the snow is going to be east of the area by the time we get to the overnight hour snap. There will be an additional piece of energy, we believe, during the early afternoon hours tomorrow. The models don't really pick up on that very well, but there will be the chance for some more flurries as we move throughout Wednesday afternoon. But as Dan and I mentioned, models are showing significant snowfall totals. Some of these models are showing just additional snowfall because we've already gone through about 2 hours of this event so far, so maybe it looks a little bit less. But as you can see, 9.3 inches in Fayetteville, 8.6 inches in Rogers, every single model showing significant snowfall over our area. And before I wrap up this little discussion, did want to show one more look at our snowfall accumulation map. This is what we're forecasting for northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. As you can see here, the farther north you go, the more likely you are to run into those amounts that are over 12 inches. So Southwest Missouri, northern Delaware County, northern Benton County, northern Carroll County, northern Boone County, these areas right here will have the best chance to see over 12 inches. Though I will say this, the heaviest snow so far has fallen in western Washington County. So that is interesting right there. That may increase those snowfall totals, which is why we've got that 8 to 12 inch plus totals there in southern Benton County and northern Washington County. So that is something to watch very closely. But Nikita's asking about work this week. Nikita, I'll say this. It's not like that system we saw back in January where that snow melted quite a bit. And it melted really early on. This is going to be the type of snow that stays on the roadways for multiple days. Very cold temperatures, dangerously cold temperatures, certain. It is going to happen. We are going to see record-breaking, dangerous cold as we move throughout the rest of this week. And that's going to cause problems on the roadways. So in terms of getting to work, in terms of getting to school, Dan, I think that's going to be really difficult to do throughout the work week.
I do too. Yeah, absolutely. Wife just got home. You can see the tracks driving into the car. We have a very steep driveway. She was able to get up fine, but she did say that things are starting to get a little slick. But we're not getting a lot now. This is just the beginning stages. In fact, really honestly, we didn't think that accumulation would be heavy until probably around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's actually a little earlier than what we predicted.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I see people saying, "Oh, I don't have a whole lot right now. This is a bust. This is trash." Folks, it's just now starting to ramp up to our west. No, a lot of folks in Benton County are wondering that right now because
I know because it hasn't hit there yet.
Yes, but look at all this. I mean, look at all this heavy snow that's developing out west. This is really heavy snowfall rates. And that's all going to be pushed into northwest Arkansas as we move.
Put a loop on it. Put a loop on it so that people can see it's lifting northward.
Yep. And it's getting stronger too. You can see it that mesoscale banding starting to develop a little bit there.
Just gotta wait. Just gotta wait.
Yep.
If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you don't have any snow on the ground, which I highly doubt,
yes,
then you can come at us. Then you can complain. Then you can say it busted. It didn't.
Yes,
snow.
Dave. That's exactly what we're saying. We're saying it's just now starting.
Just starting.
Yep.
That's a good question. Can you bring up Oklahoma dot cams? I don't think they have as good of a system as.
They don't.
While you're trying to do that, I'll cook with the photographs a little bit more again.
Let me show this real quick, Dan. Let me show this just one thing on Weather One real quick.
I'm watching when you pull it up. But this is our photograph analysis tool. So just one last thing. I'm just going to click on a METAR here on Tahlequah. Okay. And then that is going to load up the photograph. Watch this.
Yes. It's really cool. It's amazing.
In 3, 2, 1, after it loads up the photograph, bam, there you go. Wow, look at that cold air wind profile.
Yeah.
Oh.
Due north.
But then it's also veering, though. It's a warm air advection profile.
Yep.
So we still have that warm air aloft in Tulsa. But that's pretty cool. Then you scroll down here, you can get the tabular data. And then you can plot critical angles by putting in storm motions. Oh, yeah. Not only that, but you click on the analyst.
Yep.
And the analyst will get you into wind profile visualization. And what it does is it gives you essentially a scroll over reading of the sounding right here. So we can zoom in. You can zoom way in too, so you can see that critical angle. And then you can roll over and say, all right, so 76 meters is 21 knots at 11, 13. So there's the direction, 33. There's an easterly wind. There's a southerly wind. And so you can see all that. And then you see the different movers, the ideal shear vector, the right mover, left mover, if there were supercells, all that stuff. Cool stuff.
It's really cool.
All right. Back to what you wanted to show. That. Look at the whiteout conditions now.
Yep. And that's this is near Springdale. So this is near Sunset.
That's always pretty rough. Go back to iDrive if you can on a wider view and show those show some of those roads and stuff.
Yep. So here's a look at iDrive Arkansas. And again, you guys that
There
are
was another accident too.
Yep, there are more accidents starting to show up. But you guys could go to iDriveArkansas.com if you want to see the latest traffic conditions. But oh my goodness,
Yeah.
an explosion of accidents.
Well, and that's where the heavy snow bands are. So it's just, yeah.
Yep. There's one near Garland. Looks like
Oh, imagine that. We saw that road right there where someone was flying by.
Yep. This area right here near Garland Avenue, this is the worst stretch of interstate. I see accidents here all the time. We had that pileup back in January with that system at this same stretch of interstate. It is a problem spot having to make that turn. But if I go back here to iDrive Arkansas, the map. So as you can see, the map is showing snow-covered roadways, but you can click on particular stretches of the interstate. So if I zoom in here, see all these accidents are occurring, we'll click on this particular stretch of the interstate. Look at that, Dan. Now it says that the roads are completely covered in snow from US Highway 71B to the Benton County line. So that's been ramping up over the last 30 minutes or so. And that's why you're starting to see snow-covered roadways, and that's why you're starting to see people, unfortunately, spin out of control and get into these accidents here. So again, iDriveArkansas.com, great resource. You can see even some of the
These things are popping up faster than whack-a-moles.
yes. Whack-a-punxsutawney.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna whack him right now. Come on. This is ridiculous.
Well, I'll tell you what here. It's 2 hours. I think we've been streaming long enough. I think we told everybody everything they need to know. It's just getting started. It will snow throughout the day, into the evening, into the early overnight hours. Winter storm warning, I think, does go until 6 a.m. But they
Actually, moved it back until 3 a.m. now.
3 a.m. Oh, they had it till midnight, right? They had it till 6 a.m. Now they're clearing it out a little sooner. I get that. Yep.
Makes
I want
sense.
everybody to be safe. It's not going to be a great snowman making snow initially,
No.
but that's going to change as you get into Thursday and Friday, because even with it being as cold, the sun still is a powerful star that will melt some of that snow, and then it'll start to get more snowman making stuff.
Yes.
Yeet.
Yeet.
Yeet that stupid groundhog out the window.
Yeah.
Don't break them. Yeah. Oh.
He's smirking at us, dude. Look at him. Look at that smirk. Look at that smile. This guy was conniving, man. He was scheming up this winter storm for us.
I remember the 2011 snowstorm, just a series of coincidences. Fort Madison is moving through some locations consistently in the heavy snow. I got Cody Hudson calling.
Oh, now. Another one.
Let's see here.
Let's get him live on air.
Hey, Cody, what's up?
Hey, did it change any or anything? It seems like the further north I go, way less accumulation I'm getting.
Just wait. It's not done yet. And the reason for that is because it started farther south. But no, it's not even close to over yet. It's just starting. Hey, are you going to be able to stream this afternoon, evening?
I'm streaming right now. Yeah, Brett had sent out a message asking who was out. I told him, yeah, I'll go ahead and head out. But I've got it up and running right now. Just south of Harrison. I was going to kind of travel between Harrison and Jasper.
Okay. We're live streaming, by the way. We've been on for about 2 hours. So I'm gonna throw up your stream real quick. Is it on? Let me see if it's on real fast.
Yeah, it's been running for about 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, got it. All right.
Yeah, there's definitely not a whole. I mean, it's accumulating, but you know, Jasper.
Don't worry. It's coming. It's light. It's
I'll be out. I'll keep my stream up and running for the rest of the day, so I'll be out about.
all right. Well, this is a live report right here from Cody Hudson. We're watching him, and you're moving, man. You got to be careful.
Yeah, he's moving along.
I'm going 40. The roads are good. They're clear.
Yeah, but that's once that banding starts to develop. Remember, it's pretty cold too. Those temperatures are dropping. Yeah.
yesterday. So, but no, that's definitely going to change when that moves in. I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah.
Keep driving. Traffic's moving pretty normal right now. So, yeah, I'll be out and about and between Harrison, Jasper, and that area. If you need me to go anywhere else, I'll head that way too. I even have no problems getting stuck per se. I've got some pretty good tires on this rig.
All right. Well, this is live video from Cody Hudson. Thanks so much, man, for doing that. And yeah, I think you're going to get a lot of snow. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised looking at this system.
I'll keep it up and I'll have it up for you whenever you need it.
All right, sounds good. We'll be using it throughout the day, and we'll be using it tonight on the news. So appreciate it. Love our Storm Spotter team. Appreciate it, Cody.
Yeah, that's clutch.
That is smooth video too. Wow,
Yes. No stuttering, and he's going through the higher train area.
that is smooth as silk.
Got to know what his setup is.
That's good stuff. Anyways, Cody Hudson with the live stream there. I'll take that off. All righty, folks. Well, we got to run. Josh, I think that hey, look at that. Live report of sledding in progress
Already.
in our neighborhood.
Already. I love it.
Might as well
to do it too.
get out before it gets cold. Kids are out of school.
Yep. It's going to be brutally cold this week.
I don't think the sledding's great yet, but the roads are starting to get covered, so that shows you.
They were ready, man. They were just they see it on sight. I love it.
That's great.
I love it.
All right, folks. Well, Josh, I think that covers it, man.
Yep. I think that does. Yep. Tissue accumulation very high in here. You'll see when we get in.
Yeah, you've been plowing through those. Zach was looking for the Kleenex box yesterday, and it was like,
yeah,
oh, man.
It just got crushed yesterday.
Well, we got to wipe everything down. All right. Later, folks.
Right.
Brodos with the Hodos out. Ooh.
Swole.
Ooh. All right, man.
Y'all take it easy. God bless you. And Dan, Zach, Peyton will be here later on this evening. I might have even a little camera from the Graduate Hotel camera as well, or I might be at the Graduate Hotel, give you a little live view too. But stay safe, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.